Hello everyone. Today in science we are going to see chapter 6 conservation of plants and animals. Okay? So this is the chapter name introduction and then our chapter will start. Okay? So everybody you know that we should conserve our plants and animals. Conserve means save. Okay? Why? Because they are part of our nature, right? We are also coming with them. Like before we were early humans, so we were also one type of animals only. Okay, one animal species called Homo sapiens. Okay, so it's important to save plants and animals. Now because of urbanization, industries, cutting of forests, and poaching means killing animals for their skin, their parts, body parts, because they fetch good money. Because of this, our animals or plants are not conserved. They are getting endangered or vulnerable. So now we are going to see how conservation of animals is done on national level, international level, and what are the data where plants and animals are distributed in a way so that they can conserve plants and animals. Okay, so first we are going to start with the introduction. Plants and animals are important natural resources. Yes, right? Plants, why? Because we get food from plants and animals only, right? So if there are no plants and animals, even humans won't be there on earth, right? So plants and animals are important natural resources. And one more thing, because of plants we get water, means they will tell no evaporation, condensation, precipitation. We will get rain because of trees, means plants. Okay, they are a source of food and useful materials such as fibers, medicinal substances, hides, and other raw materials. So before, like almost 1000-2000 years ago, in our India we had Ayurveda. Ayurveda means we don't have medicines like now. Before, what happens is if somebody is ill or something happens to a person, they will use tree leaves or some flowers. They will crush it and apply or give the person who is ill, so he will recover, right? So now technology has grown, right? Plants and animals benefit mankind in several ways. However, they are also exploited in order to obtain certain products on even merely or leisure. Leisure means use of free time for enjoyment. This adversely affects the variety of plants and animals on the planet, resulting in decrease in population of these organisms. So here you need to concentrate, okay? Because maybe they can ask in true or false also. Is it increasing the population or decreasing? So read it properly, okay? So certain products are merely for leisure. This adversely affects the variety of plants and animals on the planet, resulting in a decrease in the population of these organisms. So, read into their depth. In this chapter, we will learn about how different organisms are important to mankind and what can be done to conserve them. Okay? So before itself I told you that they are hunted for some products, like elephant is hunted for tusk. They make ivory bracelet. Ivory means the tusk is there, no elephant tusk. That they will make with the tusk. They will make ivory bracelets. So like these things adversely affects the variety of plants and animals on the planet, resulting in a decrease in the population of these organisms. For example, we have 3000 tigers. In that, if a government does not take any steps and people started killing the tiger for its skin, after killing, would it able to be breed at least? Will it able to give would it like grow its generation? No, right? If you kill all the tigers, no tiger would be left also, huh? Right? So what can be done to conserve them? So nowadays our plant and animal species are getting decreasing, right? So how to conserve them, we are going to see this chapter. So after learning this chapter, I want all of you to even take steps from your side and conserve plants and animals wherever you see. Don't unnecessarily cut the trees. Don't unnecessarily hurt any animals around your surroundings. Like at least it is a dog or a cat also. So you should be kind towards all the living organisms on our earth. Okay. So now first we are going to see the chapter starting is biodiversity. So from bio only we get to know that this is plants and animals diversity. So we'll get to we'll read the correct definition for this. Biological diversity or biodiversity is defined as variety among living organisms, plants and animals. So it is variety among living organisms. Living organisms mean plants, animals, right? From terrestrial, marine and other ecosystem. Now ecosystem means the interaction between living organisms. Now we have many ecosystems like freshwater pond also has ecosystem of fish. Fish interact with each other to eat, right? Terrestrial means on land. Marine means in water like fish and other ecosystem. So biodiversity or biological diversity is defined as the variety among living organisms, plants and animals from terrestrial, marine and other ecosystem. This involves diversity within species, between species and within ecosystems. Okay, so this involves biodiversity. Now in India only we know that in diversity means we have different language people, different culture. Like that, biodiversity within animals and plants means like now in water do you think only fish is there? No, we have sea horse, we have many creatures which are still not even discovered, right? So that's why they are telling there is a diversity within species, between species and within ecosystem, right? So biodiversity is distributed unevenly on earth. Unevenly means, for example, unevenly means it's more, okay? It largely depends on the region and its climatic conditions, okay? The environment in which an organism or a group of organisms can live, grow and reproduce is called its habitat. For example, we humans are living in one place. For example, I am living in Chennai means my Chennai weather is suitable for me. I can live in Chennai and I can eat here or I can for example I can live here, grow here, right? So this is my habitat. So this environment, this Chennai environment is my habitat. For example, some regions if I went to Himachal Pradesh, how can I survive there in the cold ice? So like that, plants and animals also they live in certain habitat. Habitat means environment in which an organism can grow, live, reproduce is called its habitat. So for example, we can tell human habitat is where it needs correct amount of heat, correct amount of air, so that only it can live where. So humans where they live usually where there is food, water, shelter and climatic conditions were suitable for them. Like that only plants and animals can live where there is food, there is correct necessary climatic conditions for them to live, grow and reproduce, right? So the habitat provides its organisms with nutrition, water, shelter, protection and space they need to survive. Different organisms are found in different habitats such as deserts. Now deserts have lot of snakes, hyenas, right? Coral reef means water, right? Fish and all. And freshwater lakes, forests, grasslands and polar regions, right? Now wherever it is cool, hot, there also animals live, right? Now if you go to polar region where we can get polar bear, silver fox, mink and snow leopard because they live there because climatic conditions are suitable for them and they can live there, grow there, they have their necessary things there. But if for example if I bring polar bear here in Chennai where it is almost 34 degrees now, will it live? No, right? So polar bear habitat is polar region. Okay, so this was an example given. So we have completed. Okay, let's see the facts though. The term biological diversity was used first by wildlife scientist and conservationist Raymond F. Dasman in the year 1968. The terms contracted from biodiversity may be have coined by W.G. Rosen in 1985. So they are just telling that biological diversity was discovered by this man and later it was coined by this person. Okay, so you can just keep in your mind. They won't ask in the exams. Okay, so next we are moving to another topic which is species. Okay, so a group of organisms in which members have similar or common characteristics are capable of breeding with each other to produce offspring is known as species. Okay, so a group of organisms which has its same characteristics and are capable to reproduce, this is known as species. Okay, to produce an offspring is known as species. Okay, so example of species are Asiatic lion, Panthera leo. So nowadays whatever animals are there no in our earth, they all are given one species name. For example, Bengal tiger is not the species name is not Bengal tiger. Bengal tiger species name is Panthera tigris, and Asiatic lion species is Panthera leo. And human beings are Homo sapiens. It is very important. Human beings, please note it. Okay, I don't have pencil, I think so. Wait. That is very important. They will ask you in 1 marks. Okay, that what is the species of human beings? Homo sapiens. Okay, animals are not much important, but humans, we are humans, so they will ask us. Okay, now what is flora and fauna? We'll see. Flora refers to plant species and fauna refers to animal species. Very easy, no? Flora means plants, plant species. Fauna means animal species that occur naturally in a particular habitat. Okay, depending on their distribution, species may be considered to be endemic to an area or migratory. Okay, now everybody you know that pandemic, right? Pandemic COVID-19. So just link pandemic and endemic. Now pandemic means coronavirus was spread all over the world. But endemic means just put a hint now. Pandemic means all over the world. Then endemic means in a particular place, right? So that only they are telling. Endemic, a species which is found only in a specific geographic area is called an endemic species. So if they told pandemic species, for example, means the species is found all over the world. For example, you take crow now, it will come near the window and ka 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 ka, right? So wherever you go in India, you surely get to see the crow. So it's a endemic, not pandemic species. You can tell, okay? But don't write in the exam. I'm just telling an example. So a species which is found only in specific geographical area is called an endemic species. 1 mark question, note it. Okay. So for example, Nilgiri Tahar, see Nilgiri Tahar, Indian grey hornbill are species endemic to India. So Nilgiri Tahir you won't get in your surroundings. If you go to a specific habitat where it lives, there only you can get this animal. Now next migratory species. So in our lower classes itself we have learned what is migration. Migratory species means they will be moving from one place to another because climatic conditions change only. That's it. So certain animal species travel long distance in groups either to escape unsuitable weather condition or in search of optimal weather conditions. So they are telling if it's very hot where they live, they will escape from that because it's unsuitable weather for them, or if they want optimal weather condition means which is suitable for them. They are telling. This seasonal mass movement of species is called migration, and such species are called migratory species. Okay, so example of migratory species are Arctic tern, this is a bird, and Siberian crane. Most migratory species they are birds only, not animals. Okay, do you understand? So importance of biodiversity. So we come now, we have started importance of biodiversity, threats and habitat loss. Okay, so this importance of biodiversity is only conservation. Now we hear the topic will start. Okay, Importance of biodiversity. Do you think plants and animals are important for us? Yes, right? Then now we'll see why they are important in many ways. So first, ecological importance. Every species has an important role to play in the functioning of an ecosystem. For example, plants and animals are dependent on each other. Okay? Now we are dependent on plants, right? Green plants purify the air by taking in carbon dioxide during photosynthesis and releasing oxygen into the atmosphere, right? We need trees, plants and animals because they provide us with oxygen, right? They utilize the carbon dioxide through the process called photosynthesis and they produce oxygen in the atmosphere, which is very necessary for human beings and other organisms, right? This oxygen is used by organisms for respiration and carbon dioxide is released back into the atmosphere. Again, the organisms in a particular ecosystem are dependent on each other for food, forming the food chain. Here, a topic, I will tell you what is food chain. Right? Now, let's take about hen itself. Hen, chicken. So, hen will eat something, worms or something like that. We will eat hen, right? Like that we have food chain. No, wait, I'll take an easy example. Very easy example I'll take. Now, for example, I am telling about a frog. Okay, frog, what you do? It will eat bees or flies and all. So, who will eat frog? Snake. Who will eat snake? Mongoose. Right? So, this is the food chain. For example, if somebody in this food chain is extinct, for example, you take frog or snake or even mongoose also, the food chain will get collapsed. Means almost the other animals who are dependent on that extinct animal will also become extinct. For example, frog becomes extinct means snake will also become extinct, and when snake becomes extinct, the mongoose does not have anything to it means mongoose will also be extinct. So it is very important to that the food chain is very important. Okay, food chain is very important. If any species in a food chain becomes extinct, other species dependent on it may be extinct as well, thus endanger the whole ecosystem, as I told you, right? So economic importance. Don't get ecological economic importance. At last I will tell you what is the difference. Okay, don't worry. Different species of plants, animals and microorganisms are useful materials such as food, fiber, medicine, fuel and building materials. In making industrial products such as rubber. Rubber we get from tree, no? Tree. The tree will give a thick liquid latex. From that latex will process the latex and it will become a rubber, which is very useful for many ways. Not even for eraser, for many ways it is useful. Oil, now which we put for like cooking and all, that oil we get from plants only, sunflower oil, peanut oil, this and all. Dyes, paint. Now what they will like take from the flowers, the color of flowers. Okay. Glue, no. So some very old trees, they will produce a type of sticky substance. That sticky substance we can use it as glue. Wax and paper. Wax not having any idea. Paper, no. We have learned about one story called Kailon, whom a Chinese person who invented paper 1000 years ago. What he did in that, bamboo was there. He soaked it in the water. He dried it and made it a paper. So we need plants for paper, right? Biodiversity also enables recreational activities such as trekking, camping, fishing and bird watching. Also enables, okay. Which help encourage tourism. Tourism is now trekking. Trekking is done only on mountains, not on you can climb on a land, simple land. You can climb only on mountains, right? So tourism, why they are doing tourism? Because trekking and all, people will go to another place and do in that place, specific place. So they are tourists of the place. Okay. Camping means like in hilly areas and all, they will put a campfire there. They'll put camps. fishing and bird watching, which helps encourage tourism. It is important to preserve biodiversity to ensure a suitable supply of these resources for economic growth. Okay, so what they are telling in ecological importance is, now green plants, they will purify the air, they will produce oxygen, which is very important for a human being. Again they are telling about food chain. So food chain, if it becomes extinct, at least one animal also, other animals which are dependent on it will also become extinct. Okay, this is the ecological importance. Next, economic importance is, we get from them food, medicines, fuel, fiber and rubber, oil, glue, wax and all. And they are like recreational activities are enabled because of them. Like we go to mountains, we perform campfires, fishing for fish, bird watching, which help in encourage tourism. It is important to preserve biodiversity to ensure a sustainable supply of these resources for economic growth. Okay, now we will see the facts though. India comprises only 2% of global land mass, but it is home for more than 8% of the total biodiversity of the planet. Tropical rainforest, alpine forest, semi-evergreen forest, deciduous forest, uh, deserts, scrubland and even mangrove forests can be found in India. So in SST now there is one now on the 8th standard there is one chapter, natural vegetation and wildlife. In that we can learn about this all types of forest and all. So in India tropical rainforest is found, you know, right? In western no, that's temperate I think. Oh, I'm not sure. Alpine means tundra vegetation, semi evergreen, deciduous forest, deserts in Thar desert, mangrove forest in West Bengal, right? Okay, so now our topic, this topic is over. Now we will see threats to biodiversity. Okay, don't read threats of, it's threats to biodiversity. Why there is a threat? Why biodiversity is in danger? Why our animals are becoming extinct? So here we will see. Okay, it is found that the current rate of species extinction is greater than the during last several billion years. So before and all, in several billion years ago, as I researched, I got to know that only 2-3 animals got extinct before, like 2-3 not, around 100 to 200 species. But now no, almost 500-600 species got extinct within this 200 to 300 years. If you go in Google and search, right, so you can get saber-toothed mammoth, saber-toothed tiger, woolly mammoth. This and all got extinct 10,000 years ago. But recently, if you search now, some animals like one frog, poisonous frog. I don't remember the name. Frog, blue whales. They are also endangered. I think they are extinct, but I'm not sure. So because of these things, no, our that only they are telling. Okay. Why? Because the increasing human population is placing larger and larger demands on the environment and increasing the burden on available natural resources. So what we are doing? Increasing population means we are cutting trees so that we can build buildings, right? So because of that, it is becoming a burden on available natural resource, right? So therefore, the growth of human population is main factor behind loss of biodiversity. Yes, please underline, okay? They may ask in exam, which is the main factor behind the loss of biodiversity. Which is the main factor? Human population, not like growth of human population, okay? I have underlined it. The threat to biodiversity is due to the following factors. So they have given 5 factors, okay? So we'll read one by one. Habitat loss. Habitat means we know where the organism lives in a particular place, where it can live, grow and reproduce. Where the place is called habitat. Now, for example, now we are cutting forest means where tigers and all will live, right? Such as caused by deforestation. Overexploitation. Overexploitation means, I'll come here. Overexploitation means we are killing animals, and we are cutting the trees for our needs. Because of increasing population, it's getting more and more overexploited, right? Introduction of non-natives or invasive species. So invasive species, I'll tell you like next. Invasive species means, for example, you are having a good garden. Suddenly in that garden, no, one new flower or new plant is getting growing there. A new plant from where we don't know, because of seed dispersal, one new plant is growing there. So what happens is that new plant is there, no? That plant will take all the nutrients or compete with nutrients within the plants where they are present in the garden. Okay, the plants which are there in the garden, no, already, this new plant, what it will do, it will take all the nutrients or compete with nutrients with them, and what happens is this new plant will get more nutrients, everything, water and all, but other plants which are already there in the garden will lose the fertility and they will die. Okay, so this is invasive species problem. Pollution that causes degradation of habitats. Now what they are doing, industrial waste and all, they are like putting in the water directly without like removing the harmful substances in the water, and sewage disposal in the rivers. So fishes and all will live in rivers only, when they consume these plastic items which you throw, like not us but some people who still throw in the water and all, they will eat it and they will die. So this also is pollution, causes degradation of habitats. Climate change. What now main thing which you are experiencing daily, I will tell you my example alone. Now what happened is Chennai, it's September. So as we know in Chennai, from July or June end only rain will start, and it will stop in October to November. Then winter season will start. But nowadays, now it's September month, but here the temperature is 35 degrees. It's literally very hot that we can't go out and stand. So because they are cutting these trees and all, no, so our climate is also getting changed. Why it's getting changed also we'll learn now. Okay. So now first thing we are going to learn is habitat loss. Habitat loss, as I told you, they are cutting the trees and all. So where animals will live. So now we'll see. Habitat loss occurs when the habitat of a species is deprived. Deprived, na? Like what to tell? Will theft. Okay, how can I tell you? Deprived, it's given. Lacking in things that necessary for life. So they are taking the necessary things of their life, no? So forest provides shelter to many animals, right? They are taking from them. They are taking it, right? Of the conditions necessary for it to survive due to destruction or degradation of the habitat. Human activities such as clearing of forest land by cutting down trees or building dams across rivers contribute to habitat loss. Okay. All such activities, deforestation plays the biggest role in the habitat loss. So please underline it. Deforestation plays the main role. Where are you? Deforestation. Okay. They may ask in 1 marks or even in question answer which plays the main role in habitat loss is deforestation. Okay. Hence the loss of biodiversity. So what is deforestation? Deforestation is the clearing of forest like this. So this is it was full of jungle. Now what we are doing, because of increasing population, we have cleared this forest, and this is the deforestation. Okay. See. So we'll come to our topic. So for agricultural or commercial use without replanting or afforestation, and without allowing time for the forest to regenerate itself. So deforestation means we are cutting or clearing the forest or intentional removal of forest and other vegetation for agricultural and commercial use. So what we are doing, we are clearing the forest for constructing industry or for doing agriculture, no. But what we are doing, the main thing is that we are not planting again trees. So this place now we have already cleared. So there will be thousands of trees here. But what we do, we'll just be clearing. We won't be again generating, or we won't be planting the trees again. So mostly they will tell us, if you cut one tree, plant one tree in your house. So that you should do, because if they are cleaning this much forest, means how will you get oxygen, food and all, right? Afforestation means where you are cutting, no, there you can grow one more, like not very where, like for example, if you are cutting one tree, means you can grow one more plant in your house, like that you can tell. And without allowing time for the forest to regenerate itself. Now you are cutting here again, in 2 days only we start the construction of industries. So how plants will grow there again, or how forest will grow there again, right? Deforestation is largely caused due to human activities. Although deforestation due to natural causes too has been recorded. Yes, deforestation, no, it's not like human activities are only causing causing this deforestation. Even natural causes. The main thing which we see in news also is that it's forest fire. What happens because of global warming or increase in temperatures, it causes forest fires. What this forest fire will do is it will like fully burn the forest, right? No trees would be there. Okay. So logging for wood. Now we need wood, right? Wood from trees only we get paper, wood and all. So they are cutting trees for wood. Conversion of forest land for agriculture, urbanization and industrialization for building industries, homes. Mining means we need some metals, minerals we get from mining only. You know what they will do? They will dug deep holes in underground, the crust of the earth, from where we get very precious stones. So this are, so for example, in this land now I am getting to know that here gold is available. What we'll do, we'll cut the trees, we'll dug a big hole, we'll go down, means we'll climb, go down and take all the precious stones. But what happens, mining only they have, they clear this forest. So because mining also is a factor for deforestation. Overgrazing. Now some people, what they will do, some farmers, what they will do, they will send their cattle in the forest, where cattle will eat all the grass. So that is also called overgrazing. Forest fire, as I told you, because of increasing temperatures and all, forest fires are getting caused, because of which forest will burn, okay, which is very dangerous. Deforestation leads to extinction of species. Soil erosion. Soil erosion, why? Because trees, what they will do while rain and all, while if there is flood, means they won't, sorry. See, soil erosion means these trees are there, no, while rain and all, they will catch the soil within the roots, so that soil won't be washed away. But if there is no trees, means when it is raining, all the sand will go in the water, means sand won't be on the land, it won't be on the land, fully it will go in the water, okay. And within this, what happens means the soil will lose its fertility and the land will become barren means infertile forever. It's very difficult to make the land fertile again and grow trees there, okay. Global warming, you will learn more about deforestation in later chapter, okay. Carbon dioxide level, atmospheric carbon dioxide level and global warming, okay. So we are moving. Fact store. According to the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, around 18 million acres, oh my god, of forest are annually lost due to human practices destroying ecosystem. Oh my god, it's unbelievable, right? 18 million acres, it's a lot. That's why they are telling, no, global warming, many things are happening. Before and all, nothing. Before and all, our earth was very beautiful, means nothing, no global warming, no carbon dioxide levels, fully trees. But now what we are doing, building big industries, uh, producing in industries also they will produce harmful gases like carbon monoxide, greenhouse gases, which are very harmful for us, not even for us, other animals also. Okay, so they're given some. Let's us discuss. Find out about wildlife corridors and how they are useful in areas where forests are fragmented. So I want this answer in comments. Okay, now we are going to see over exploitation. Forests are exploited for food, wood, medicines, and clothes, while animals are exploited for food products, leather, and work and as work animals. The demand of on biodiversity has increased to meet the needs of mankind because the population is also increasing, needs are also increasing. Okay, thereby threatening biodiversity. Many exotic animals are hunted for their hide, fur, meat, tusks, and also for leisure. So what they will do when I actually went to Himachal Pradesh, there I got to know that there was a shawl called Pashmina shawl. So Pashmina shawl, how they make? We asked the person who was selling the Pashmina shawl. He told that there is a yak type animal there. He did not tell the name, but he just told like an yak one animal is there. From they will kill that animal before, not now. Before they will kill that animal and they will take the skin. From that skin they will make this type of shawl. It's very disappointing, no? But now what happened is government got to know about this practice, and what government did is it banned the what to tell this killing animals for their fur and all. Okay, illegal hunting called poaching. Illegal hunting we know, right? In forest and all, some people will go and they will be hunting of wild animals for trade of their body parts has resulted in mass extinction of some exotic plant and animal species, result in overall biodiversity loss. Now go in Google. Okay, I want in comments also this answer. Search extinct species and why they were extinct. You also search that. You will mostly get the answer called hunting. So why hunting? Why hunting was very popular in those days? You want to tell me, okay, in the comments. Invasive species. Invasive species are those species that are introduced in an area where they compete with native species for space and nutrients. As I told you before, only one example about a garden. Okay, as I told you, in garden there are already some plants. In that garden only one new plant is emerging, and what that plant will do, it will take all the nutrients and water required to that native species, and what happens is this plant will survive but others plant won't survive. Okay, invasive species usually multiply very fast because there are no natural predators in that area. The native species find it difficult to compete with the large number of invasive species and eventually die out, as I told you. Invasive species, whether introduced accidentally or deliberately, can thus cause the extinction of local species. For example, prickly poppy or Argemone mexicana is an invasive species that grows in pastures and agricultural land and prevents the growth of fodder plants and crops. They have given one example. Okay. So again we'll read what is invasive species. Invasive species are those species that are introduced into an area where they compete with native species for space and nutrient. Don't write those species who live in that garden. Don't write like that. Write native species. This is the correct way to tell about those species. Okay. When they give like this question, no, invasive species is very important. If they ask you in 2 marks, no, don't just write about invasive species. Write also one example, like they have given a prickly poppy, and just don't write what is invasive species. You can write also like this: invasive species usually multiply fast, so there are no natural predators in that area. So what happens? Native species find it difficult, which causes the extinction of native species also. So what it happens? They will eventually die out. Okay. Next, pollution of air, water and soil affects ecosystem and causes the degradation of habitat. Such degradation may not directly cause extinction of species, but it adversely affects biodiversity. Pollution is caused by the following. So first we read first one and I will explain you. The release of industrial effluents containing toxic chemicals and heavy metals into water bodies. Okay, now I will tell you what happens is when industrial waste, what they do, they will put the waste in waters, right, nearby rivers and all. So what happens is this industrial waste, they produce a type of metal called mercury. So what this mercury will do, this mercury will go in the rivers and all, and it will like stick onto the land underwater. So what happens when the marine organisms come, or they will be like they will be roaming here and there in the water. So what they will do, the marine organism will eat that metal and they will die. Okay. Toxic chemicals means they will industrial waste influence also. One more thing, they'll produce harmful gases, right? So that gases will contain CO, means monoxide, and greenhouse gases, which are very dangerous for us. The release of sewage and household waste into water bodies. Main thing which is in everywhere is that sewage, household waste. Sewage means what? Drainage water, right? So what they will do, they will put the drainage water in the rivers, right? And the same water we drink. How we feel, no? Oh my God. So now what happened, our government has taken steps, so we have a proper drainage system. So what we do, we won't put the drainage in rivers, we will recycle it. We will you can search in the Google that what they will do with the drainage system, and let me know in the comments. This is homework for you, that what they do with the drainage water or the sewage and household waste. Okay. No, why I am telling, don't feel it's dirty and all. I just am telling because it's very important thing, right? The dumping of non-biodegradable waste such as plastic on land and in water bodies including the ocean. What they will do, like plastic and all, if they burn, it will be very harmful. So what they will do, they will dump in the land. Dump means what? They put the plastic and all in the land. So one case in Mumbai in 2017, what happened is suddenly in one place, fire started. So what happened? They dumped like this plastic or some waste. So what happened? This type of this waste also got started burning, right? Because the fire was on land only. So what happened? The waste which was dumped, that waste also started burning and it started to produce some harmful gas. Because of that, almost thousands of people died and some 200 to 300 people were injured. So it is very harmful. Okay. The burning of fossil fuels releasing carbon dioxide and other gases into the atmosphere. Fossil fuel means petrol, diesel and all. When we burn them, they will also release some harmful gases like carbon dioxide, which is very harmful in atmosphere. Acid rain that occurs when the carbon dioxide and other gases in air dissolve in rainwater fall to the ground, changing the pH of a soil and water bodies. What happened means nowadays industries and all, what they are doing, they are producing some harmful gases. For example, I will tell you some harmful gases which are nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide. These are very harmful gases, and carbon dioxide. What they do is they will go to the sky. They can't go. They are air only. They will condensation, precipitation. This process. What happens is this harmful gases will react with the air present in atmosphere, and they will be converted into acid called carbonic acid, nitric acid, and sulfuric acid. So what these all acids will combine together and form in a type of rain called acid rain, which is very harmful. So acid rain, what happens is it will change the color or it will change the nature of soil and all, which is very harmful for plants. And even the Taj Mahal become yellow because of acid rain only, like little yellow. They tell in Google you can search also. I'm not sure, but I got to know in the Google only. Okay, you will learn more about pollution in later chapter. Climate change. Certain human activities such as large-scale burning of fossil fuels and natural phenomena such as volcanic eruption. Volcanoes and all, because of increase in temperature also they will be burned, like they will erupt. Okay. And forest fires produce large quantities of carbon dioxide and other pollutants gases like greenhouse gases, nitrogen dioxide, this and all in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide blocks the rays blocks the rays of the sun reaching the earth and prevents them from escaping, thereby causing the planet to heat up. This phenomenon is called global warming. Global warming directly affects the climate of the earth. Yeah, so I told what affects the climate of the earth, it's global warming. So species that cannot adapt to the extreme changes in climate may reduce in number until they eventually become extinct. Okay, so what they are telling, see, the quantities of carbon dioxide blocks the rays of sun. Okay, what happens? It will block the rays of the sun to reach the earth. Okay, and prevents them from escaping, thereby causing planet to heat up. So this phenomenon is called global warming. It's very important. Please, they may ask in 2 marks. Okay. So what causes change in climate? It is global warming. Okay. Very important question. See here. Global warming directly affects the climate of the earth. Species that cannot adapt to the extreme changes in the climate, they reduce in number until they eventually become extinct. These are some questions. You can take a screenshot too, which are very important. Okay. Oh my God, stage. Conservation of biodiversity. Now we got the harmful effects of biodiversity. What are threats? What are the threats of biodiversity? Like habitat loss, deforestation, overexploitation, invasive species, pollution, global warming. So this is everything is happened. So in this also, how we can conserve our biodiversity. What is conservation of biodiversity? To save our plants and animals from becoming extinct or harming them. Okay, so the scientific management, maintenance, protection and the preservation of biodiversity to prevent the extinction of plant and animal species is known as conservation of biodiversity. Okay, this is very important. In this also, if you write this and don't write extinction of plant and animal species also, your 1 mark will be reduced, because this is the main point, and this everything, this is only actually main. Conservation of biodiversity, they will surely ask in 5 marks. Okay, nicely read it, nicely understand it. As I am teaching you, understand. If you have any doubts, comment. Okay. So the scientific management, maintenance, protection and preservation of biodiversity to prevent the extinction of plant and animal species is known as conservation of biodiversity. Conservation of biodiversity can be grouped in 3 broad categories. Conservation at the international level, national level and individual level. Individual means what we can do to conserve. National means what India can do. International means all the world together what they do. Okay. So first we are going to see international level only. Okay. This is not as much important, but I think they may ask in the exam, because our teacher told that it's little important. Individual level is very important. Okay, because what we can do to conserve our nature, so we need to know about that, right? So conservation at international level. International level means what? All around the world. Okay, so International Union for Conservation of Nature, underline it, I did not underline. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. IUCN. Okay, it is an international body which focuses on conserving nature while developing solutions to overcome environmental and developmental changes. Okay, so it helps in the conservation of nature in these development solutions and overcome environmental and development changes. IUCN works in more than 160 countries. Now, all over the world, we have 192 countries, but only 160 countries are taking part in this. Okay, in collaboration with government, non-governmental organization, private companies, and the public. Since 1964, IUCN has been annually releasing an information resource known as the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. So what they are doing from since 1964, they have made one IUCN Red List. In that, they are doing 9 categories: not evaluated, data deficient, least concern, near threatened, vulnerable, endangered, critically endangered, extinct in the world, extinct. Okay, this is extinct means over. Not evaluated means it's still there on earth, means it's not endangered, it's available in more amount. They're telling not evaluated. Okay, this is the world's most comprehensive information on global conservation status of animal and plant species across the various countries. So this is very important. Then these people will take very sudden preventive measures so that plants and animals can be conserved and saved. Okay, it evaluates the risk of extinction and groups them into categories based on this risk of extinction. So the figure this 6.6 shows the different categories of species status. So now most of them in my class also they were telling that IUCN it's very confusing for us. So nothing. IUCN is International Union for Conservation of Nature. Okay, it is an international body. International means all the countries together. What they are doing, they are focusing on conserving nature because we should not lose our nature. Nature is very important for us. Biodiversity, animals, birds, and all, right? While developing solution means, for example, if an animal is danger means we will take some preventive measures or help to breed or help to increase the population of that particular animal. Okay, so one I will tell one example. So in India also they are doing many projects and all. So here you see first we finished internationally. So here 160 countries are collaborating. Okay, and since 1964 they are making a red list, IUCN red list, where they are categorizing different species of animals and plants in 9 categories. Okay, so it evaluates the risk of extinction and groups into categories based on the risk of extinction. So this is the different categories. Now first, extinct species. Extinct species is a species that has completely disappeared from the planet. So if you do, that animal won't come back. Okay, such species have no living individuals left anywhere in the world. So that particular animal, wherever you go, whatever you do, that animal you can't found anywhere now. It's extinct, over, finished. It is completely disappeared. Okay. Examples of extinct species are dinosaurs. Everywhere we listen about dinosaurs, right? Saber-toothed tiger. Saber-toothed tigers means it will have canine teeth, like very sharp teeth, like the teeth will be coming out of his mouth. It's very very dangerous. As I got to know why it got extinct is it had very very big teeth. Okay, because of the teeth it became extinct because its teeth were very sharp. So they will kill that animal and make some things with that teeth. Next, woolly mammoth. So just see this animal once, right? You will only get in the mind why it's extinct. See, it has big tusk. We know that elephants are mostly hunted for their tusk. So why do you think this animal became extinct? Because of its tusk only. Why? Because animals tusk great elephant tusk they will make ivory bracelet and all. So they kill all animals and finally it became extinct. So it became extinct 12,000 years ago. If you go on Google also you can Google it. Dodo. I don't know why my friend did like this for Dodo. Dodo, why? Because it became extinct was in Goa, no? Portuguese people used to live. So what happened from Portugal, they were coming to our India. So in the way they got this animal. So when they tasted this animal, it was very tasty it seems. They ate it and finally it became extinct, okay? So extinction takes place due to environmental changes mainly caused by human activities and also due to evolutionary changes in a species. So one more thing, if you Google these animals like woolly mammoth and all, you can get like after ice age. Ice age was before 12,000 years ago. So ice age is a climatic change. Why? Because ice age got already ice age was 12,000 years ago. Okay, yeah. So evolutionary changes they told no like that. Now next category in this we are going to see critically endangered. You can see a blue box, right? So critically endangered species. So these species are species that are facing extremely high risk of extinction. Extremely high means they are only very less, like 10 to 12 only. Okay, like that. They are at a risk of extinction because of human activity changes in climate. The great Indian bustard is like bull only, gharial and Indian vulture. See, Indian vulture. I never thought this is very critically endangered because it can eat dead plants and animals, but I don't know. Because nowadays we are clearing very forest and where it will go and live. No, Indian vulture. Indian vulture is found in very dense forests only. Are example of critically endangered species. Now next we are going to see next category which is yellow box which is endangered. Okay, see you can see zooming extinction risk. An endangered species is a species that is at a very high risk of extinction in the wild. The Bengal tiger is an example of endangered species. Now you will tell me what is the difference of you would think that what is the difference between critically endangered and endangered species. For example, I will tell you if Bengal tiger is 1,000 and Indian vulture are 500 only. So which is critically endangered and endangered? You tell me. Critically endangered is vulture because it is already few in number than tiger. And tiger, which are 1,000 tigers we have, means they are endangered. Okay. Although they are less, but most critically endangered means they are very few at number, and it's little difficult to save them. Okay. The Bengal tiger is an example of endangered species. Vulnerable species. So you can see vulnerable brown box. See, I zoom in. You can see. See. Now, vulnerable species is one of species likely to become endangered unless the circumstances threatening its survival improve. So, vulnerable species, they will become endangered if some improvement would not happen. For example, this Indian Asian black bear, Asian black bear, it lives in like this structures. But like these structures now, they're doing. If they're doing something like building and all, or maybe bears will live in forest and all. Nowadays they're clearing the forest and all. So where it will live? So it has become vulnerable. So for example, if you build some forest and all where this black bear can live, so there surely improvements can be taken and black bear would not be endangered. Like that they are telling. Okay. Vulnerability is mainly caused by habitat loss or destruction. The Asian black bear, Indian rhino, and Java sparrow are examples of vulnerable species. See, vulnerable species is nothing. These species are actually endangered, but they are going to be endangered. But some things by which there's like unless the circumstances threatening its survival improve. Like some threatening things like because of industries, urbanization, habitat loss also it is threatening for it. So if we give its habitat back to him, no, again it won't be endangered. Okay. So these are some vulnerable species example. Now we are seeing conservation at international level. Now we are going to national level. Okay. So government of our India plays an active role both at state and central level. Central means prime minister and all, to conserve the biodiversity of the country. It has recognized several national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, forest reserves, zoological parks, botanical gardens. Okay, as protected areas for the conservation of wild animals and plants in their habitat. Okay, so what are they? We are going to see now. So national park. National parks are areas highly protected by law where human habitation is severely restricted and no activities such as firewood collection, hunting or grazing is allowed. Corbett National Park, established in 1936, was the first such initiative in India. So what national parks no, they will be like forest only, where no human habitation is severely restricted, means like tourism and all, but hunting, firewood collection and grazing is literally strict. No activity such as firewood collection, hunting or grazing is allowed. It's not even allowed there. Okay. And Corbett National Park is one of the earliest parks built in our India in 1936. Next, wildlife sanctuaries. Sanctuaries are two are protected areas, but certain activities such as harvesting of timber. Harvesting of timber means wood, by which we make some furniture and all. Collection of forest products, rubber and all, paper and all, will cut the trees, no, and cultivation of lands are permitted here, and in a controlled manner. It even allows the entry of tourists. So what sanctuaries no, they are also protected areas, okay, but certain activities like timber collection and all, they will allow, but at a certain, like under a controlled manner. Like if you are collecting timber means you can't collect so much timber, over exploiting. You can collect the timber as it is controlled, means in a controlled manner only. Government also has put restriction that this much timber only you can collect, this much forest products only you can collect. Above that means you are jailed. That's it, finished. Okay, tourists can come and see. That's it, they are telling. Around 106 national parks and 565 wildlife sanctuaries are present in India. Very important. Around 106 national parks, don't get confused. 106 national parks, 565 wildlife sanctuaries are present in India. Now, biosphere reserves. A large area where wildlife is protected but local communities continue to live there and perform their traditional activities is called biosphere reserve. There are 18 biosphere reserves in India. So this is a large area like a forest only, but wildlife is also protected here. But some local people will be coming and performing their traditional activities here. So this is a biosphere reserve. There are 18 biosphere reserves in India, not internationally India. Okay. Forest reserves. Forest reserves are areas of lands where commercial harvesting of wood is prohibited. Prohibited, na? Abolished. Abolished means totally banned. Okay. To preserve the vegetation, habitat and biodiversity. Like it will be like forest only, but no person is allowed there for commercial purpose. Commercial purpose is what? Cutting trees for forest products, timber and all. This is literally prohibited. Now, zoological parks. A place where different kinds of living wild animals are kept in closed or open enclosures for public displays called zoological park or zoo. Now everybody have visited at least one zoo, no? In the zoo what you will see, some plants and animals are like they are in the cage and they will be feeding them so that they breed or they get improved. their conditions get improved. So a place where different kinds of wild animals are kept in closed or open enclosure. Enclosure means in one like box type. For public display. Public display means we will also be going and seeing animals. It's called zoological park or zoo. Here animals are fed properly, cared for and help in breeding. At the same time safety for the public is also maintained. Safety means what? Safety. Any public should not go and open the cage of tiger. Then tiger will finish the public only. Like that. Several endangered species are raised and bred here to increase their population. Like tigers and all we see in the zoo, lions, tigers. Botanical gardens. From botanical garden only we can get to know that this is the flowers, plants garden only. So whenever you visit like Ooty botanical garden or any like botanical gardens, no, there you see very rare species they will be putting, no, very rare species, don't touch, and they will be very beautiful. But a place where variety of plants are collected, cultivated and conserved for scientific and educational research and ornamental and recreational purpose is called a botanical garden. Okay, over. Our lesson is going to be over. After this your chapter is over. Okay, so you can see are properly labeled and arranged in various habitats. They are well maintained and are bred experimentally. So in lab and all they will take those plants and they will do some experiments and they will make the plants breed. Various organizations led by government at city, state, national and international level are working towards the conservation of biodiversity. So they have given some steps taken by the governments. Various laws are implemented by the Government of India to protect Indian biodiversity, particularly the endangered species. Some of the laws implemented include the Environment Protection Act 1986, Fisheries Act 1897, Forest Act 1927, Forest Conservation Act 1980, Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and Wildlife Protection Amendment Act 1991. You can keep 2 to 3 acts in your mind, but they may ask in 1 marks. Okay. So in this you can see which is the earliest law is this Fisheries Act, which is 1897, taken India during British rule. Okay. So our India is taking some acts to protect our wildlife and plants. So government initiatives such as Project Tiger. Project Tiger is what? It's for all tigers. So before in our India we just have 1962 I think so. 1962 tigers. But after this project they are helping the tigers to breed, carefully feeding them, caring and all. So now our population of tigers in India, in Gir National Park you can see that in Google and all. So there now what happened, our tiger population and increased to 3692 tigers. Okay. Crocodile Conservation Project Elephant, Save the Barasingha. Barasingha means reindeer. In Santa Claus and all you will see 2 deers which will take the Santa Claus. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Help to protect and conserve the target species as its natural habitat. Eco-development programs are also carried out which encourage the local communities to play a role in conserving biodiversity. So local communities what they will do, they will come and feed the animals, they will care the animals and all. Okay, like that. Reintroduction of an animal or a plant into the habitat from where it has become extinct and being carried out. For example, the Gangetic gharial has been reintroduced in rivers of Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan where it had become extinct. So what they are doing, for example, that animal before very long ago it was extinct in that place. So what they are doing now, they are taking the same animal to those places and they are conserving the animal. So hunting of tigers, so you can read this case study. Hunting of tigers for the skin and other parts that have medicinal properties was legal in India. Legal means allowed in India till 1970. Once their hunting was banned, a survey showed that the presence of only 1827 tigers. The Indian government launched Project Tiger. Project Tiger. Here you can see, and here also it's there. Project Tiger in 1973 by introducing 9 tiger reserves across the country. So main tiger reserve, which is, you want to comment me, okay? It's in Gujarat, okay? Including Corbett National Park with around 1000 tigers. So now the number has increased to 47 reserves with 2226 tigers according to a survey conducted in 2014. Now also it would have increased well. 10 years happened, no? Now it's 2025. The main aim of Project Tiger is to create a safe and ideal environment for the growth and survival of tigers and to protect them from extinction. Project Tiger is the most famous wildlife conservation project in India. Okay. Now we'll see conservation at individual level. Individual means us, okay, can too play a great role to fight for biodiversity. We can provide awareness. Awareness means we can collect all the people and ask them to conserve, means not cut trees and all. Follow forest protection laws. Be cautious of what we eat and purchase. Not wasting food, that only they tell, don't waste food. Follow recycling rules. Conserve energy at home and use public transportation. Okay, so we have some steps which we can take. So first is recycling paper. Now for example, you have one paper bag, okay, so that paper bag, once you use and throw it, it's not like that. So you can use that paper bag again while shopping, or at least 2-3 times, so that you don't need to waste one more tree. Means if you cut one tree, you will get one paper, they will tell. Okay, so trees are cut to obtain the wood from which paper can be made. Hence, to save trees, we should save paper and recycle it. Paper can be recycled at least 6 to 7 times, as I told you. Paper bag. Reforestation. This is another way for saving trees. If the deforested area is left undisturbed for many years, or if new plants or seed are sown, deforested area can be converted back into forest habitat. And this is called reforestation. For example, there is a land which was deforested before. Again, if you go and plant their trees, so it will become, so it's known as reforestation. Decreasing pollution. The less pollution we produce, the more chances there will be for an animal survival. Oh my God. Reduce human demands. Banning the use of animal products in clothes, ornaments, medicine or food can help stop the poaching of animals and thus save the animals on the planet. Now what they are doing, let's see. This is a tech bite. Tech bite means technology improvements. A drone, which is a camera, transmitter and a microphone attached to a model airplane, is able to take images of nests, animals, fires, trees, poachers and also capture sounds of animals, thus helping collecting biodiversity data without trekking into forests and therefore saving time and money. So what they have did, they have invented a drone which goes and collects the information about animals and birds, which helps the scientists not to go and trek them. Okay, so this is the exercise, means you can take an image also. So this is a man called Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin was an Australian wildlife conservationist and educator. Okay, through his television series The Crocodile Hunter, he made it possible for viewers to directly appreciate the power and beauty of threatened and dangerous animals. So what he did, let's see now. He eventually earned a reputation of Australia's top croc catcher. Croc catcher means crocodile catcher, due to his proficiency in capturing the large and most dangerous crocodiles. To promote wildlife conservation and education, He established extensive private wildlife refuges in Australia. Irwin emphasized the significance of safeguarding all species in danger of extinction. So what he has did, he has catched some dangerous crocodiles and all, and to conserve them, they are like they are doing like zoos and all. Okay. Now let's see another exercises. Do we have anything so that we can discuss? Yeah. So this is one more exercise. So I am not filling it now. First I will discuss. So what is this? Identify the name. What? I will give you 1 minute. Nilgiri Tahar. Okay. Nilgiri Tahar. This is Arctic term. Now this one. Classify each species as either endemic or migratory. So this one, Nilgiri Tahar is endemic as we read, and Arctic tern is migratory. Describe endemic and migratory species. Endemic means they are found in a specific geographical area, and migratory means they will be moving from one places to another to escape the unsuitable weather or optimal weather conditions. Okay. Now look at the picture given below and answer the following question. So this is Indian rhino, this is Siberian crane. Okay. So identify the species of animals, write their names in the box. What is the status of these animals in the IUCN Red List? So as we saw the Indian rhino, it's a vulnerable. What? Oh my god, I itself forgot. Yeah, Indian rhino is a vulnerable species. And Siberian crane, they did not mention, right? Anything. Well, this is a homework for you. What is this bird name and what is its status, like endangered, critical endangered? You should tell me. Okay. What is the role of the government in protecting threatened animals? So they have built some national reserves, parks and all. Okay. Government means Indian government. They are telling. Okay. So these are some questions. This is a case based. Let's see this case based. Hearts question. The IUCN Red List, not this one, let's see later. The preservation of biodiversity and wildlife in national parks and other protected areas depends upon them being sheltered from public. Why do you think tourism in such places is allowed and encouraged? Why do you think? For example, here no crocodile parks and all are there, where people go and see. But why there people are allowed? Tell me. This is a homework for you, okay? I know the answer. Next one, let's see. How can the adverse effect of tourism can be minimized? Adverse effect means like tourism people know what they'll do, they'll throw the garbage and all there only. So how they can minimize this? We can take a strict law and abolish their tourism. And if you want, I'll tell you this answer also. Why do you think tourism in such places is allowed and encouraged? Because people should know that our India is conserving in this way, and tourists should be aware of conservation of biodiversity. You can write, or you can let me know in the comments also what we can write for this. So look at the picture given alongside. Identify this critical endangered species in India. This is an alligator. Name an initiative taken by government for conservation of this species. So can we go and check once? Yeah, sure. Critically endangered species. So you can write national parks or zoo. In zoo also you can see crocodiles and all. So you can write zoo also, or national park also you can write for this second. So that's it for today. So today we have completed the chapter called conservation of plants and animals. So let's just crisply revise in short. So biological diversity means what? Like plants and animals. So their diversity, like Biodiversity is defined as the variety among living organisms, plants and animals from terrestrial, marine and other ecosystems. This involves diversity within species, between species and within ecosystem. So animals and all, they live in a particular habitat, right? So that they can live there, grow there. And here we saw water species and what are types of species, endemic and migratory. Endemic means what? They are found in the specific geographical area. Migratory means they will be moving from one place to another. Now, importance of biodiversity we saw in two types. One is ecological, economic. Ecological means what? Plants, they purify air for carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. They release oxygen, which is very important for an organism. Food chain. Okay. Economic means they provide us medicines, fuels, building materials, rubber, oil and all. And it also encourages tourism. Next we saw threats to biodiversity like habitat loss caused by deforestation, overexploitation, introduction of non-native or invasive species, pollution that causes degradation of habitats, climate change, right? Habitat loss, we saw that they are cutting the trees and all, they are doing deforestation, and in that also we saw logging of wood. Why they do deforestation is logging of wood. Overexploitation means we are killing animals for their body parts which fetch good money, and this is very threatening for biodiversity. And invasive species means one new plant will come and grow which compete for nutrients within the native species, and native species will also maybe become extinct. So one example is prickly poppy. Pollution means like some pollution are we saw industrial effluents, putting sewage or dumping non-biodegradable waste, burning fossil fuels, acid rain and all. Climate change means global warming. And conservation of biodiversity, we saw in international level that they are doing a red list, International Union for Conservation of Nature. In that we saw extinct species which have completely disappeared. Critically endangered means at a very high risk of extinction, and endangered means very high risk. Vulnerable means they can be endangered, but if some circumstances threatening its survival improve. Conservation at national level. In India also is playing an active role to conserve plants and animals. National parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, forest reserves, zoological parks, botanical garden, and yes, our India has also introduced some projects like or some acts like Fisheries Act, Wildlife Protection Act, Conservation Act in 1980, and some projects like Project Tiger, Crocodile Conservation Project, Save the Barasinga, eco development programs are also carried out. Reintroduction of an animal where it has become extinct, like for example we saw Gangetic gharial, and we saw one case study about tigers. And at individual level what we can do to conserve biodiversity like recycling paper, reforestation, decreasing pollution and reduce human demands. So this was the lesson for today. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any doubts let me know in the comments, and how was this video nice, let me know in the comments. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you.